How's it going, everybody? And welcome to the Dirty Water Red Sox podcast presented by Guy Boston Sports and Grandstand Productions. I'm your host, Rob Anglin, back with my co-host, as always, Italy Jet, Dev the Sports Guy, and Noah Doherty. How is everybody doing today?
Man, I'm fantastic.
Fantabulous.
Fantastic. Story's back. That's all I care about.
I agree. Story's back, and he had a game today against the Detroit Tigers after struggling to start out the gate. We are going to talk about the week in review for the Red Sox after two series against the AL Central teams, the Kansas City Royals and the Detroit Tigers. And it was a good series, two series for the Boston Red Sox, a 3-1 series win against the Royals, 2-1 against the Tigers. And as you can tell right now, it's blue and yellow. The Red Sox brought out the City Connects, and we are going to explain the history behind the City Connects and why and how they're so good this year and why the Red Sox do it, because there's a reason behind it. But I'm going to start off around the table. I'm going to start off with Devin. We'll go around. Let's talk about these two series. How are we feeling after going 5-2 against the AL Central?
We're feeling pretty good. Man, like I said in the last pod, I said the Red Sox needed to win 8 of these next 2 games. And I guess they tuned in, they listened in, and they said, hey, let's win 5 of them, and then hopefully we can sweep the Nationals. And, this team is waking up at the right time. Story time is making great storybook endings right now for the Red Sox, getting hot in August, and maybe can get even hotter in, September or whatnot. But this team is the team that I've always loved watching. Yeah, they've had an emotional roller coaster going up and down and up and down. But you know what? We are going up at the right time, but we need to win against the easy teams. We cannot be swept by these Nationals. We just need to keep the faith. We need to keep going, and let's hope that we can continue on this great dynasty run for this Red Sox team.
This Red Sox team finally healthy, which is good to see. We're going to talk about that later on too. Obviously, going into Washington, it's going to bring back good vibes, especially in 2021 when the Red Sox clinched their playoff spot in Washington. I'm going to go to you, Noah. How are we feeling about this big week against the AL Central and having pretty good success?
Thanks, Rob. Best thing you could say is they took care of business. You know what I mean? They had 7 games there against the AL Central. Obviously, 3 out of 4 from Kansas City, 2 or 3 from Detroit. It obviously would have been nice to get a sweep over one of those teams, to get a sweep there in Kansas City, but a 4-game sweep is something tough to ask for. So you would have maybe hoped for a sweep against Detroit. Obviously, they didn't get it, but they won a pretty tough pitching matchup today. Eduardo Rodriguez usually good on the road. Carter Crawford struggles at home. They got it done today. I think two out of 3 Washington at the worst. I think you have to be in for a sweep there, considering this is the last easy team, I guess you could say, on the schedule for the rest of the season. I know they go to Chicago, but they got to take care of business with Washington because, as we'll talk about later, it doesn't get any easier, and the road ahead just gets even tougher.
Yeah, the Red Sox have a good stretch of games right now where they had to win games, especially against teams that are beatable right now. Especially it's going to be interesting to see what they do in this tough week ahead, obviously, because there's a stretch of games where it's going to be hell for the Red Sox, I think. But we'll get into that in a bit. Italy Jet, how are you feeling about this AL Central week at Fenway Park?
I feel better than the damn Yankees. Listen, I hate the Yankees, so it's all good. Listen, overall, I am really satisfied with the 5-2 wins these past 2 series. I'm very happy. I think this is what Red Sox Nation has been wanting for a while. Of course, we would love to go 7-0, right? But it's the Red Sox. We got to make it interesting. We got to make it interesting all the way. I love what we've done with the bullpen. I love the starting pitching that we have, especially when we have a couple players coming back as well. Story and Duvall, fantastic. I got to give Story some time and Duvall to get back in the flow of things, and I think it was great. I liked what we did with Mr. Cabrera, with the Tigers. I love that we honored him. I love that everything was good with that. He is a legend in baseball. I'm glad we did it right. But overall, I am happy because it is going to be a very tough road eventually. And even though I think we're all a little worried about it, I still want good things to happen. I just want progression. That's all I want.
This team has a good chance of having good progression, especially if they can play consistent baseball like they have, especially in this series, through 2 series against the Royals and the Tigers. Coming off a very bad series against the Blue Jays, you want to go out and you want to get revenge on the other teams. And they did that against Kansas City, winning 3 out of 4, which I'll take 9 times out of 10. That's a big series to win, especially going to also Detroit. They played very good against the Detroit Tigers, winning 2 out of 3. I mean, getting to see that video they gave to Erod for coming home. I mean, that was a nice thing they did for him, having that tribute video. We're going to see one of those coming very soon with the Dodgers. And then also, obviously, that tribute to Miguel Cabrera, giving him the plaque from the Green Monster, that standing ovation that the Red Sox fans gave him at his last at-bat. Red Sox Nation is always classy. Gotta love Miguel Cabrera and everything that he's done for the game of baseball. I think also this team needs to get into a good stretch of games. They need to start playing consistent baseball, and there's no better way to start against teams that you need to beat up on. As you guys can tell right now, we have a yellow and blue background. We got the City Connect colors going on for this podcast today, and that's because the Yellow Sox have some magic behind these jerseys. The Boston Red Sox brought them out against the Royals. They did lose one of those games. They lost 2 of those games with the jerseys on. But the reason why the Red Sox wear these jerseys is obviously City Connects are supposed to be. So the topic is City Connect jerseys. That almost every team's going to have a City Connect jersey in Major League Baseball. It's supposed to bring out what the city is all about. And everybody knows Boston is known for the Boston Marathon. The marathon colors are yellow and blue. Yellow and blue. I personally love them. I love the message behind them. I think it's great. The yellow, it stands out. I'm going to go around the table and ask about what you guys think about the City Connect jersey. The meaning, I think it's a 10 out of 10, but the look-wise, a lot of people are iffy on it. What do you guys think about these City Connect jerseys? I'm going to get into everyone's thoughts, and then I'm going to tell you why the Red Sox keep pulling them out this year. I'm going to start with you, Italy, Jen. We're going to go around. What do you guys think about these City Connect jerseys?
You got to go with what's hot. You got to go on what fits. And right now, this is the jersey that's on fire. You go with the hot hand, and it's been very hot. Everyone is contributing. Everything is coming together. What it means to Boston. I have it autographed right here. It's Johnny Gomes with the World Series trophy and says Boston Strong on front of it. I love what this jersey means, what it means to Boston, and the streak that we're on. It's going to give us an uplifting feeling, and I just think we got to keep that going. I love these jerseys. You might as well just change this to the Yellow Sox at this point, but it's fun. It's fun.
It is very fun indeed. Going back to your photo about Johnny Gomes with the trophy, I was at that parade, and it was the best thing ever because obviously that was the year that the bombings happened, and it was so meaningful. They stopped at the finish line, and I vividly remember them stopping at the finish line and him and Salsa Lamakia putting the jersey at the finish line in the trophy. Very touching, very heartwarming. No, I'm going to actually, what do you think about these jerseys? I know you have a City Connect t-shirt of a player that you have a lot of thoughts on him. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit. But what do you think about these jerseys? How do you feel about the City Connect?
As you will see with the shirt, it couldn't be more ironic for what we're talking about on the podcast here today. But what I always say about the City Connect jerseys is that people who don't like the City Connect jerseys don't understand what Boston's about. Obviously, they're marathon themed. They're for the marathon. We obviously know the history behind the Boston Marathon. But I think it was Alex Cora the other day, and I don't remember the exact quote that he said. But what Cora said yesterday was, it's like these guys just level up and have superpowers when they put these jerseys on. And it's true. You've seen, I mean, Rob will get into the stats in a little bit. I don't want to take his bit away from him. But these guys just, when they put the City Connect jerseys on, they're just on a different level. This season, obviously, they're not used to losing much in the City Connect jerseys. So seeing them drop a game to Kansas City and Detroit and the City Connects kind of made them feel a little more moral. You know what I mean? But they put these jerseys on. It's for Boston. Every time they wear these jerseys, it's for the city of Boston. And they just seem to play up. They play for the city of Boston when they have these jerseys on their backs.
There's nothing better than the City Connect jersey, and I agree. I feel like they play with more enthusiasm. They feel a little more force, especially with these jerseys on. Dev, I know you don't got any the gear on like we do. You're the odd man out right now. Don't worry. Next time you go to Fenway, we'll hook you up. But what do you think about these jerseys? Are you going to get one? If so, who are you going to get?
Of course. I'm going to get myself a City Connect jersey. I'm going to get Noah's second least favorite player, Adam Duvall. So I'm going to get myself a Duvall, City Connect jersey. So, I like Duvall. He's probably my third favorite player on the Red Sox. But, hey, like Noah said, it's basically like a superpower, wearing these Connect jerseys. I like it. It's been giving us very, very much luck. I mean, if come playoff time, if we do actually make the playoffs, and I think, since the start, I've said this team is going to be a dark horse to make the playoffs, but I think we should probably wear, for our home jerseys, wear the City Connect jerseys. Give us the luck that we need. Maybe fans might not like it, but I think the players love wearing them. So if it's luck at home, why not just go for the goals and just wear these jerseys?
These jerseys are, in my opinion, a top City Connect jersey. That's a hot topic, but I'll get into it. I love it. I have the shirts, I have the t-shirts, I have the Kike Hernandez jersey that I bought when the Red Sox at a pop-up shop in front of my job. I'll basically get into it. I love them. I think the concept's great. I think for what the city and what they play with more enthusiasm and more power, just because it's like you're representing the city of Boston, especially in these jerseys. And obviously that means something to the city. The Boston Marathon bombings happened on my 14th birthday, and I'll never forget it. I remember I was supposed to be at the marathon, and I'm thankful that my aunt had to work that day and that my sister changed her plans because it was a scary situation for the city of Boston. But with these jerseys on and these gear, the Boston Red Sox get on another level. They turn into beasts. Since the City Connect jerseys were introduced in Major League Baseball in 2021, the Red Sox also, by the way, the City Connect jerseys, they were the first team to wear City Connect jerseys. Fun fact, they are 26-6 in the yellow jerseys all time and 10-2 this season with the City Connects. All-time record, their winning percentage is .813. That's why the Red Sox pulled these out, because they also said, Alex Cora and everybody in the media said, the players love wearing the yellow jerseys. They play good in them. And obviously, Noah would keep saying, he said it to me off camera, and I think it's true. It would be cool. They wanted to bring them on the road because that's how good they were doing. And in 2021, I remember the Red Sox saying, and MLB gave them permission if they kept that winning streak at the end of September, they were going to let them wear the yellow jerseys in the playoffs. So I think that's pretty cool. These jerseys are very special. So it's very cool to see the message behind it. Speaking of bringing them out, we have a couple of players back on the roster. Trevor Story, Chris Sale, and Garrett Whitlock are back, baby. They are back on the roster, fully healthy, with Garrett Whitlock back and Tanner Houck in the wings. The Red Sox are finally coming to full strength. How excited are we that they are back to see them? I'm going to start with Dev, and I'm going to go around. How are you feeling that Story, Sale, and Whitlock are finally back?
I mean, man, I'm so excited. I could run myself through a brick wall. I mean, man, this team is very exciting. I mean, with Story coming back, Houck, Sale. I mean, this team, with having these three great guys back, I think this team could make a deep run for a playoff push because, we were struggling in the beginning with trying to win games, trying to, get out of tough jams. But now with having Houck back, having Sale back, and all these great players, man, this team is a well-oiled machine. And I think that, with the eventual of Trevor Story, I've been telling you guys, when he comes into the lineup, things do change. He had a great, at bat this series against the Tigers. I mean, just wait until the Nationals and the Dodgers and the Yankees come by. I mean, man, don't let Trevor Story get too hot because, man, once he gets hot, it'll be a storybook ending. I'll tell you that much.
He is a very special player, and seeing him at shortstop, he made a couple great plays in the past couple series, making some across-the-body throw was amazing that he had against the Royals. Noah, I know you're not big on Trevor Story, and this is going to be ironic with what you're wearing right now. How do you feel? I know you're too happy about Story coming back probably, but how do you feel about Sale, Whitlock, and Story being back on the roster?
I'm chomping at the bit to talk here. I can't wait. Talking about Trevor Story, I'm on the second episode of the Dirty Water Red Sox podcast. You can't write it up any better. This shirt actually is Trevor Story's shirt. Ironically, I know.
But we know
having Trevor Story as much as you can, as much as I'm not the biggest fan of him, you can't deny that having Trevor Story back in this lineup just elevates this team, right? His elite defense, his great base running, as we've seen, he's been causing chaos on the base paths this first couple games back here. So, with Trevor Story, if you can get a 110 WRC bat from him, that would couple him into being like a 6 and 7 win player a year, which I'm fine with. If he's going to have this great base running, great defense, 110 on WRC bat, sign me up. I'm on board. I'm fine with it. Chris Sale being back, we're never going to see 2015, 2016 Chris Sale ever again. And I think we've kind of recognized that at this point. But the main thing, having Chris Sale back, it saves the bullpen. And I know we're not really talking about the bullpen today, but having Chris Sale back just gets a starting pitcher on the roster, what we've been asking for months and months and months. And then obviously Garrett Whitlock. We saw him come back today in the bullpen, look dominant. Whitlock in the bullpen, that's his spot. Never deserves to be a starter ever again. Argue with the wall. I'm not changing my opinion on that. So obviously, again, with Tanner Houck coming in the wing, but Red Sox got some key pieces back, and they're only going to get another one back with Houck.
The Red Sox are getting to full strength, and this is the first time that they're probably going to be at full strength since Ty Bloom took over in the head office in 2021. Italy Jet, how are we feeling? I know you're a big Story guy, opposite to Noah. How are we feeling about Story being back and Sale and Whitlock being back on this roster?
Story is one of my favorite players, and I'm glad Bogarts is gone so Story can replace him. That is a very good thing to me. Now, I understand Boston loves Bogarts, and I do too, but I think Story is a better situation for us. I mean, look at Bogarts' season so far. No one's arguing with me. Listen, Sale is not going to be that guy that we can just go on a tear with like he was in the World Series. He is a very injury-prone pitcher. I wouldn't even be surprised if he gets injured the following week or if he gets injured down the road. But you can't deny what Sale has done for this team. He makes our team better. He makes our starting pitchers better. And you can even put him in the bullpen if you wanted to. Just because he makes your team better doesn't mean you can't look at the obvious. He is an injury-prone pitcher, and we just got to keep an eye on it. And as long as you can give him maybe 4 innings, maybe 5 or 6 innings, then Sale's going to do just fine. Whitlock, on the other hand, Whitlock is a very good pitcher, and I'm glad that he's back. I'm happy that he's here. Put him more in the bullpen. I know people like him at starting pitching, but I'm more put him in the bullpen guy. You got to bulk up that reliever position, and starting pitching will come eventually. But overall, good to have him 3 back, and even how coming back this week is going to be very important for the Boston Red Sox down the line.
The Boston Red Sox coming back to full strength. Having Trevor Story back is pretty big, especially for what we had to deal with this season with Kike Hernandez playing shortstop, leading Major League Baseball in errors. I have a Kike jersey. I'm a big Kike supporter, and what he did in 21 was amazing. But this season, he was thrown into a position where he hasn't played in years, and you could tell. But I'm glad he's having a good comeback with the Dodgers since he's been over there. The Dodgers just do some magic over there, especially with Brazier. But that's besides the point. I'm very happy to have Story back. He's been electric. I mean, that game today against the Tigers, 4 for 4, 3 doubles and a single. He looked really good. A couple stolen bases too. His speed is just a different element to the Red Sox. And having him at shortstop, him being able to make good defensive plays is something that the Red Sox needed up the middle. And I think him and Urias, that amazing no-look tag today. What a play by Urias today. Sale coming back is good. He adds a nice balance in the rotation. Obviously, he's not, like you said, we're not getting 2016 Chris Sale back, but it's good to see that we have a starter who could at least eat innings and be solid. I mean, he looked good against Detroit. Obviously, that home run, he was perfect through 4 innings. I mean, Kerry Carpenter, man, he owned the Boston Red Sox this weekend, even though they lost. I mean, he looked really good at Fenway. He loved him Fenway. Him and Bobby Witt were killing the Red Sox. I think it's been a good series, obviously. Having Whitlock back, too. Clean up on aisle 22. That's the way I said it, because he claims he would come back as the team's janitor. That's how much he loved the Red Sox and wanted to help out this team. He looks great in the bullpen. I agree. I think that's where he belongs. I think him and Houck should be in the bullpen together. That's just my personal opinion, but obviously, if we need Houck, he can go more innings, which is great. But I'm just happy to have a kind of a full-strength team for the first time in years, and it feels really, really good to say that. The Red Sox have been winning games. Teams that have not been winning games are in our division. The Yankees and the Blue Jays. This graphic is amazing. The Yankees and the Blue Jays are scuffling, but the Blue Jays have been scuffling since they came to Fenway, and the Yankees, man, I don't know what's going on. They gave up 6 runs in the 9th to lose to the Marlins today. They went on a tough stretch of games. And the Red Sox, in this situation, especially with the Blue Jays, this is a chance for them to sneak into the playoffs. I'm going to start with you, Italy Jet. How are we feeling about our rivals losing, and what do you think this means for the Red Sox playoff chances?
This is the way I would describe the Yankees and Blue Jays. That's what I would describe the Red Sox. Not the Red Sox, sorry, the Yankees and Blue Jays. Wow. Anyways, listen, these teams, they evidently, Blue Jays, when they get ahead, right? They were good all season, but when it comes to the big moments, Blue Jays sometimes always have that tendency to not push through. They seem like they got a great team, but if they continue to go like this, Red Sox can elevate and become super dangerous again. Yankees. Oh gosh, I think the Yankees are just done anyway. I think they're looking forward to next year. They got Cashman Boone issues. They got even everybody out there on the field right now. And it's great to see for a Red Sox fan. This is one of the greatest rivalries in baseball with Red Sox and Yankees. And that's what you want to see from your rival, to go down. Here's the thing about our division, though, with our 5 teams. If we were not in this division, all of our teams will be first place everywhere else. It's a very tight division. So I wouldn't even worry about it if we were not there. But right now, Astros, we got to worry about the Astros. We got to worry about the Blue Jays. Hopefully the Red Sox can come on top. But thank you, Yankees, and thank you, Blue Jays.
The one thing I do love about this year, the Boston Red Sox winning against their division rivals. They had terrible success in 2022, but they're doing amazing in 2023. Noah, how you feeling about I know everybody should be excited. How you feeling about the Blue Jays losing, the Yankees losing, and the chance of the Red Sox being able to sneak into the playoffs this year?
I feel like the past 3 years has been the case with the Blue Jays. They've had a really good roster. On paper, they have a really good roster. And as of right now, it's going to be unpopular. As of right now, I have them winning the American League. I think they could get on a run and win the American League. But you can't deny they struggle, right? Right now, Bichette's hurt. Vladimir Guerrero's having a really tough year. And I think they dropped that series to the Cubs. So obviously the Cubs have been playing really well as of late. But for Toronto, can't really afford to be losing many series at this point in the year. As for the Yankees, I mean, come on, man. I think I said at one point when the Marlins won that game, I think I sent in our group chat that we had, the Yanks are done. And I just truly think the Yankees are done. They were up 7-3 going into the 9th inning today, and they brought in their all-star snub closer, Clay Holmes, 2.01 ERA on the year. The Marlins proceeded to go double, strikeout, single, walk, reach down a fielder's choice, triple, walk, single to win the game 8-7. The Yankees pulled Holmes with the winning run on third base, and Tommy Kahnle gave the game up on just 4 pitches. Not much more to say. The Yankees are scuffling. The Red Sox are ahead of the Yankees, which is always a good thing to look at. And people that say the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry is dead, while you may be right, you may be wrong. I don't know. I don't think it's dead, but right now it's even more fun, because both teams are kind of fighting for a playoff spot themselves against each other right now. So I think we meet 7 more times this season, 3 more times maybe it is. I'm not sure, but good things down the line. Should be interesting next weekend when we kind of have to play the Yankees at the stadium in the Bronx.
The Bronx is a tough place to play, especially if being a Red Sox team going in enemy territories. Dev, how are we feeling? How are we feeling about this Red Sox team right now? Obviously, fighting for a playoff spot, but how are you feeling about the Yankees and Blue Jays, man? I know they've been scuffling. How are you feeling? Because I know a lot of Yankee fans aren't happy right now, a Blue Jays fan.
I mean, what a better team to be than the Boston Red Sox right now, to seeing your arch rivals, the New York Yankees, actually being, bad and sucking, being in last place. And for us Red Sox fans, guys, we have to be strong Philadelphia Phillies fans, and we got to be strong Atlanta Braves fans, because on Tuesday through Thursday, the Blue Jays are playing the Phillies, and we got to be true fans of the Phillies for about 3 days, and then we got to be fans of the Atlanta Braves for the New York Yankees. So let's hope that both of these teams in the NL East can actually beat these teams in the AL East, so that I have a strong feeling that we could actually possibly be in a playoff spot by Friday. It would be nice to have us sweep the Nationals and then have the Blue Jays lose these next 3 games to the Phillies. But it's a great feeling to see your rivals in the East actually sucking and actually losing these games. I mean, do I feel bad? No, not really. Not really. I mean, yeah. I mean, Bo Bichette, he's a great shortstop. I mean, I wish him nothing but the best for a speedy recovery. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he's probably going to be a World Series winner in the next couple decades. For the Blue Jays. But right now, to see them struggle and to see them lose games, you couldn't be happier for a Red Sox fan right now.
Being a Red Sox fan right now, especially seeing your rivals lose, it's the best feeling. I mean, obviously the Yankees losing, I mean, it's self-explanatory. They're very, very shitty this year, and I am very happy to see this, because being a Red Sox fan, and on TikTok too, I guess, if you guys don't see, TikTok is a place, and a lot of time on TikTok on that app, there's a lot of Yankee fans on there that just comment on your post for no reason, salty. And seeing Yankees fans pissed off this year has been music to my ears. Sweeping the Yankees, beating them down 15-5 this year. It's just been a fun time. the Red Sox, especially with the Blue Jays losing, this is the situation right now. I don't think the Astros anytime soon are going to fall down. Getting Verlander, he's been pitching amazing since going back to Houston. Framber Valdez has been amazing, threw a no-hitter last week. That team is a well-oiled machine. John Singleton also back for that team, hit a couple homers the other night. Kyle Tucker is good. When that team's rolling, there's usually no stopping them. They've been a force to be reckoned with in the American League for years. The Blue Jays, on the other hand, there's a situation where the Boston Red Sox can sneak into this playoff spot as long as the Blue Jays keep collapsing and not doing well. We've seen it last year in the playoffs when they had a lead and they blew it to Seattle that game 3 where the wild card where they went and lost. The Red Sox, if they play consistent baseball, they can sneak right back into that spot. The Red Sox also been playing really good against the Blue Jays. They play the Blue Jays and American League East teams down the line in the season, down the stretch where you need to win the most. The Red Sox, especially right now, I'm not worried about the Angels. I'm not worried about the Astros because the Astros got that spot unlocked. The Mariners, hell of a year by them. I think they got that first wild card spot unlocked. I think it's going to come down to the Blue Jays collapsing and the Red Sox trying to sneak into that playoff spot. It's going to be hard, but if our boys fight, they're going to be okay. Speaking about fighting, we have a tough road ahead coming up. We snuck in the Nationals there, but I don't think we'll have a problem with them. The upcoming weeks, we have to face the New York Yankees next weekend, the Dodgers coming to town, Mookie coming back home, and then the Houston Astros. I will be going to the Dodgers and an Astro game, so I will be at some of those games. This is going to be a tough road ahead for the Red Sox. We need a win down the stretch. I'm going to start with you, Italy Jet. How are we feeling about this tough road ahead? Are you nervous, or are you confident in this Boston Red Sox team?
I mean, when you're a Red Sox fan, you're always nervous. Any team we face against, we're always nervous. If you're watching anyone that's injury prone, very nervous. If you're watching anything in the stadium, outside the United States, or anywhere in the world, you are a nervous Red Sox fan. Should we win against the Nationals? Yes, we should sweep them. Should we win against the Dodgers, Yankees, and Astros? I would say half and half with the Dodgers, and Yankees should be a total sweep. But it's the Red Sox. Anything could happen. The fact that we're going to have a full team in a very long time without some of these injuries is going to be in our favor for sure. As long as we could just continue to be consistent and bounce back when we need to, I think we're going to be just fine. Yes, overall, I am concerned, but I do bleed yellow now and blue, evidently. So let's go Red Sox.
Listen, you're an honorary Bostonian in my heart for sure. Noah, how are we feeling about this? Are you nervous? Are you excited? What series are you most excited to see?
I think you have to be nervous because Italy Jet said it. You know what I mean? Being a Red Sox fan the last couple of years, it's come with a nightly panic attack. You know what I mean? Even just this last couple series against Detroit and Kansas City, there's a couple games in there where heart might have skipped a few beats, and at 17 years old, that's not something that should be happening. But we're looking ahead. We got Washington. I think Rob said, well, we're not really worried about Washington. I'll beg to differ there. I think the Red Sox have had their obvious struggles against sub-500 teams this year. You've seen they struggled against St. Louis. They struggled against the Pirates. They struggled against Cincinnati, although I think Cincinnati's above 500 now. Apologies for that. Maybe I should just say they struggled against the entire NL Central. But other teams like that, I mean, Houston, obviously, they're in a playoff spot. I don't see a world where Houston misses the playoffs, right? Houston's too good. They're too experienced. They're too well commanded. I think Houston's in a playoff spot. As regards for the Dodgers and the Yankees, the Dodgers have been hot. I think they've won like 7 in a row, 8 in a row. If they won today, it was 8 in a row. And obviously, it's got to be sweet. The Yankees are done. They don't have pitching right now. The lineup is Aaron Judge, and then it's the rest of them. It's bad. What I'm most looking forward to, that Houston series, man. Obviously, it's the only series available in that set of games that's against a team currently in the playoffs, in the American League, apologies. But if they can take care of Houston there in that series, they could get themselves even closer to a wild card spot. So while they need to have their eyes on the Dodgers, but you can't look ahead. It's Washington first. It's Washington, then it's the Yankees, then you deal with the rest of it, right? Because obviously Washington and the Yankees, two of the worst teams in those set of games, I guess you could say, but it's got to be all eyes on the team ahead of you if you want to take this one game at a time into a playoff.
I agree. Especially you got to worry about beating, like I said earlier, you got to worry about beating the crappy teams before you beat the good teams. If you can beat up on the crappy teams and you can gain that confidence, which Red Sox gained a little bit of confidence, I think, over this past 2 series, is something that you need. Dev, how are we feeling? How do you think the series is going to go? How do you think? What are you excited for this upcoming series? What team do you think the Red Sox need to take advantage of and beat in this upcoming series?
I mean, man, a lot of questions need to be answered right now, for the Red Sox. I'm not worried when we play up against the Nationals, but would I be surprised if the Nationals actually sweep us? I wouldn't actually be surprised because, like Noah said, we usually don't play well against, bad teams, which should be winning some games against the bad teams. But against the good teams, we somehow, take 2 out of 3 or we win some. So what I'm really looking forward to is the Red Sox taking advantages at good opportunities. Sometimes we can be good, sometimes we can be bad with runners on base, and that's what really concerns me up against, these good and up and coming teams. We have to score with bases loaded and no outs. We have to score with, a runner on third and no outs. I'm going to be really worried if the Red Sox can't do crap when you have the bases loaded or runners on second and third, because we usually move the bed. But, I have hope that this, Red Sox team can, win a couple games against the good teams. I hope we sweep the Yankees. Hope we can take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers. And, with the Astros, we'll see what happens from there. Because, usually when we play against Houston, we're either really well or we look like an absolute, crap team. But I have a lot of ups with this Red Sox team. I think we're going to do absolutely fine as long as we don't face Verlander or Valdez. I think we should be fine. But if we do have to face, those 2 pitchers against the Astros, I think we could, hopefully take a game or hopefully not. But I don't think we take any games if we play against those 2 pitchers. So I have a lot of hope for this team coming up against these hard teams coming up.
You gotta believe in Boston. Oh, sorry, you can go. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. Sorry to cut you off there, but Devin, I'm not sure about Valdez, but I know for sure they absolutely 100%. I know they do face Verlander in that Houston series. It's on schedule to face. I don't know about Valdez, but I remember looking at it just a couple minutes ago. I think these are very tentative matchups for the 21st series, but it looks like Paxton, Valdez, Sale, Javier, Bayo, Verlander, Crawford, Brown are the tentative pitching matchups.
That's going to be tough.
So they do face Valdez and Verlander.
Yeah,
I think that
it's going to be tough.
That matchup could also change if Houck is healthy, by the way. So we got to look into that.
Absolutely.
So that could change for Crawford. That's also good that the Red Sox finally have a starting 5, by the way. I forgot to mention that now that everybody's back and healthy. That's good to see since you mentioned that matchup. I think down the series coming ahead against the Washington Nationals, you got to at least sweep them, if not win 2 out of 3. That's your first thing. The 2 teams, the Nationals and the Yankees, who are having bad years this year, need to especially beat up on them. I know I can't even speak technically because the Yankees aren't too far behind us, but they're not performing the way the Yankees do usually. The series that I'm probably the most excited for, and I think everybody knows this, the LA Dodgers coming to town. It's going to be very emotional for me. I'm a big Mookie Betts guy. Mookie Betts is my favorite player, especially growing up since I was 12, 13 years old when he got called up. So it's going to be emotional to see him. He does follow me on TikTok. Maybe I can shoot him a message, maybe get a picture with him. We'll keep you posted on that. But no, I'm super excited for that. Excited for the tribute video, especially for our favorite Red Sox, Ryan Brayton, not playing. I love Ryan Brayton. Shout out Ryan Brayton to get a World Series ring. He was clutch in that playoff series, so I can't deny he was clutch that playoff season. Kike's coming back as well. Also, by the way, I wanted to mention about Kike. Shout out to him for keeping the bobblehead, but writing the little message to the side for Red Sox Nation. I thought that was a sick thing he did for the Boston Red Sox, letting the fans still get a bobblehead and sending a message out to them. I think that was a nice little touch from him. But yeah, the Astros series I'm excited for as well. I'm going to one of those games as well. I'm excited for the giveaways. The giveaway is going to be sick. During that giveaway, the game I'm going to, the first 7,500 fans get the dumbbells, dude. The Masataka Yoshida dumbbells. And for me, I love them because I make content on TikTok. That's the best thing when the Red Sox hit home runs to have the dumbbells. I can have them by the side to get the dumbbells ready. But no, I'm super excited for that. I think the Red Sox need to take advantage of like I said, Yankees and Nationals first ahead, win those games. The Dodgers and the Astros are probably right now the 2 favorites to be in the World Series besides the Atlanta Braves, obviously, in the National League. Those are the 2 probably the most World Series favorite teams. So if the Red Sox can perform good against those 2 teams, which is 2 amazing teams on paper and this season, I think the Red Sox will be in good graces and have a chance to sneak into the playoffs. I'm going to send it to Italy Jet to wrap us up on this amazing Yellow Sox episode today.
Sorry, technical difficulties as usual with me. Oh, shit. Hey, Rob, you do it. You do it, Rob. I'm having technical difficulties.
Having technical difficulties here, but I would just want to say thank you guys so much on Guy Boston Sports for giving us the opportunity to be on this platform. Also, shout out to Grandstand Productions. If you haven't subscribed to both channels, make sure you subscribe to both channels because they make amazing content. Guy Boston Sports posts amazing sports content all the time. Grandstand posts Red Sox content all the time. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, share, and comment on this video. Also, check out this podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. The Dirty Water Red Sox podcast will also be on the Grandstand YouTube channel and the Guy Boston Sports YouTube channel. As always, guys, I am with my co-host, Italy Jet, Dev the Sports Guy, Noah Doherty, and we're signing out, and we love that dirty water.
Dirty
Peace.
water.
Bye-bye.